Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jugs, and this is some Battlefield 3 gameplay in the background, and it's not going to be the most exciting. In fact, it's going to be very meh gameplay. It's going to be extremely mediocre, if not very poor gameplay, and this is pretty much just a scrapped gameplay that's pretty typical to my endeavors to win Battlefield 3 games on offense with really poor teammates. So you'll see me rage and like all caps chat and telling my teammates they're fucking retarded. And it's funny, I went back because DxTory is like this program that's an alternative to Fraps, which gives you like 0 frame rate loss in game, but records still at whatever FPS you want the file to be. So I play it like it does that, and as well as the fact that it records your audio files in multiple files, so you can record voice audio and game audio separately. So I had my voice audio, I just leave it on, and even if I don't want to do a live comm, because it's a hassle for me to disable that voice audio, and it's not really a big deal, so I'll just disable it or I'll just delete it in the recording software. So I had no intentions of this game being a live commentary, but you can hear me like if I would have left the audio track and just yelling at the top of my fucking lungs at my teammates, just cursing at them and telling them they're fucking retarded, and not actually talking in game chat, which makes me even more retarded. I'm just raging at myself. So yeah, that was this gameplay is not going to be quality Battlefield 3 gameplay that you're used to seeing from me, and so this won't even get thrown in the Battlefield 3 playlist. This is actually going to be about Modern Warfare 3. I didn't give a shit enough to buy the game, so you're not going to see Modern Warfare 3 gameplay in the background. I probably should really just get somebody to give me some shit gameplay or something, but I really couldn't give a fuck. So let me kind of give you guys a background, the motivation for this commentary, because I don't like to just bitch at you guys and tell you guys like negative information on YouTube anyways. I'm all for just bitching on Twitter, because it's like, you expect constant tweets on Twitter, but I don't like to when I can control content, and when it's on a schedule, and when it's very sparingly, like my video uploads are in comparison to something like tweets, I try to keep it at a positive level, at a pace where I'm not being negative about anything, because I don't like watching negativity, to be honest. I don't mind seeing somebody bitch on Twitter. I don't like spending my 10 minutes watching somebody be negative on YouTube. So I was a little apprehensive about this commentary, but it's a popular question that I get, and via private messages and DMs and all these other like secret little forms of communication that are within social media sites, and it seems like people are ashamed to ask this question outright in comments and etc., because they kind of have this notion that I'm completely against Call of Duty, and like I just hate the living shit out of the entire genre, the entire title. And that's not really the case, and you shouldn't be ashamed to ask me a question about something, as long as it's not a stupid question. Even though I've made it really apparent that I don't like the game, it's not a stupid question if you ask me, well, can you tell me why you specifically don't like it? If you're approaching me in a respectful manner, I'm going to respond to you respectfully. And that's something that you can expect from other people in the comments section. If somebody gets unruly, or if somebody starts calling you a fanboy, if you're inquiring a game that you like that I might not necessarily like, I'll let them know that it's not appropriate, and if they continue to act that way, then I'll ban them for you. If you happen to be a Call of Duty fan and you're just asking about a game in the chat. So it's not really a big deal. I don't hate Call of Duty. I don't hate the gamers that play Call of Duty. It's not like that, okay? Like, I like Call of Duty. I started playing first-person shooters from Call of Duty. I remember before I bought, the last game that I played before. Okay, let me rephrase this. Modern Warfare 2 was the first-person online shooter that I've ever played in my life, okay? And I played Modern Warfare 2 extensively. And when Black Ops came out, I played the living shit out of Black Ops. I had like 20 plus days logged into Black Ops on the console. And before that, I've played first-person shooters in the past before that. I'd say the last first-person shooter that I played before that was like Call of Duty Big Red 1 on the Xbox, the original Xbox. And before that, it was probably like GoldenEye on Nintendo 64, Tribes Aerial Assault on PS2, whatever. I don't really remember. Tribes Aerial Assault, horrible game, by the way. So it's funny that I'm playing Tribes now on the actual intended platform for the genre. But anyways, so I don't hate Call of Duty. If anything, I really like Call of Duty, and I want their games to be better than what they really are. So that's why you'll see me bitch about it, is because I actually give a shit. But that's starting to decrease. So like with Modern Warfare 3, I've said my piece on it on Twitter, and I've said everything I really feel about the game. And when people bitch at Call of Duty on Twitter and like, you know, ask me about it, I just kind of laugh. Like, it's like, well, honestly, you didn't see this coming. Like, it looked like shit from the gameplay that we've already seen. So I mean, I don't really, you know, I don't respond negatively for the most part anymore. I just kind of be like, oh, okay, that sucks, dude. Like, I don't even want to say I told you so anymore, because it's like, I don't want to be that asshole. So you know, that's my point of view on Call of Duty. I like the genre. It's just been on a very, very steep decline. Well, actually, since COD 4, but I think Black Ops was better than Modern Warfare 2. That's my opinion. I actually like Treyarch titles. But anyways, let's not get into that. So I've been asked why I don't like Modern Warfare 3, or why I haven't bought it, or why I refuse to upload content from that game or play it. And okay, so let's break this down. So before I start my argument for not buying Modern Warfare 3, I want to address like a few accusations like on Twitter. I say accusations is such a word that it's a little more powerful than I intended to mean. So let's just say I've heard some ridicule directed at me, telling me like, you know, how can you judge a game that you've never even played? And pretty much at this point, I was basing all my decisions, you know, on whether or not I should buy this game and everything that I was saying based on multiplayer gameplay that I had seen from other YouTubers and, you know, actually just PAX gameplay. And I saw enough to know that I wouldn't like this game. And people are telling me like, well, how can you know that, dude? Like, you haven't even played the game. And you know, I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, because I don't like, you know, I'm not trying to attack anybody or like make anybody look stupid, because that's a valid argument. But my response to that is that you won't get the specifics, the fine details out of a game by simply seeing it, no matter how much gameplay of it you see. I can't refute that. Some things just need to be experienced in order to know about it. But fundamental things about a game don't need to be experienced through gameplay to be able to see if something is wrong with it. You can show me some, like, you know, like some fucking some shitty secondhand fucking WoW game, and I can tell you, like, World of Warcraft, and I can tell you, well, this is, why would you even bother? This looks like trash. You know, you can tell. And just fundamental things about a game. And when I saw Modern Warfare 3, I saw fundamentally it looked like Modern Warfare 2. And, you know, from there, it's like, okay, it could still be a full title. It could still be a really, really solid title, despite the fact that it's running off pretty much the exact same fucking engine, which they've never really done before. Treyarch's been doing that. Infinity Ward's not really been doing that. They've been pretty much making new engines with every installment of Call of Duty. They're the ones that innovate. Treyarch is the one that takes what they've innovated and improves it in their way, or adds a specific, like, flavor to it. And so when I saw it, I was like, okay, what? This isn't a Treyarch title. Why is it using the exact same engine? This should have been, like, you know, this should have been what Modern Warfare 2 was. If not, this should have been what Black Ops was, instead of Treyarch using the World at War engine just to get the fucking theater mode in. I really wish they would have just used the Modern Warfare 2 engine. But thank goodness they didn't, because if they did, then we would have had 3 years of the same thing, and that's just a little more than I could possibly ever handle. So I saw the PAX gameplay, saw it look exactly like Modern Warfare 2, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I'm immediately put off. This doesn't look innovative in any way whatsoever. Sure, they've added new guns. They still don't have any fucking recoil. A little bit more than Modern Warfare 2, sure, but, you know, obviously we know now that guns don't really have that much recoil, especially after you put kick on them. It's still fucking Call of Duty recoil, and that didn't really excite me after I've played games that actually take a lot of skill in comparison to Call of Duty, and so, you know, I was kind of put off by that. And then we find out that dedicated servers weren't confirmed, and that pretty much tells me that they don't give a fuck about the PC community. And so I didn't want to support this. I told myself I'm not going to buy this game no matter what. If PC communities aren't going to be supported, I'll just wait for Ultra IWNet Modern Warfare 3 or some shit. Ultra IWNet 3. I don't really know. Whatever. I'll wait for Ultra IWNet. Or I'll just not play Call of Duty. How about that? Then, you know, they tell us that dedicated servers were confirmed, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're actually fighting for some PC support. This could be interesting. And then we find out from looking at the PC feature set that Activision released, that the PC community was getting shit on again, and that, you know, they were telling us half-assed truths. And so from there I was like, okay, well, that's not really exciting me about this game. I'm just going to be a little apprehensive and see other people play the game. I'm not going to buy it on release, especially on PC. You can't get refunds, so I'm going to be smart about this. And you know, it's not that I'm poor, like I can't afford a $60 game. It's just that I don't want to support these people if what they're doing isn't something that I agree with. And sure enough, I see some Modern Warfare 3 gameplay, and I thought, you know, maybe what they showed at PAX was going to change a little bit. It looked exactly the same. I saw the new features. All they did was add weapon proficiencies, which just put me off completely, because in my head I was thinking, Infinity Ward can't balance shit, okay? So why would they add more variables to fuck up? You know, they already had perks, they already had guns, they already had overpowered kill streaks, they already had overpowered attachments, they already had overpowered, like, everything. And then they failed to balance that, to patch that, even basic things about the game, like unlimited care package drops. So I had no, you know, illusions about their post support for this game. But then they added more to the game. Weapon proficiencies, which immediately, you know, some people got excited for it. A lot of people got excited for it. I was one of the few people that didn't get excited for it. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you guys get excited about this while I see this as another fucking imbalanced OP thing. And that's exactly what it's looking like it is right now. It makes some setups just absolutely fucking ridiculous. I'm talking MP40 World at War Jug ridiculous, except in this game there's no stopping power, so it's even harder to counteract the overpowered guns. And it was like a setup was like the Silence PP90M1 with like fucking range, and like it's like a 2-bullet kill up close. You never even have to ADS, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like, it's not even released yet, and there's already this, and it made me really, really apprehensive about the game. So from there, I was like, okay, well, let's see even further. I'm pretty much not gonna buy this game. And then I find out that the maps are shit, that it's pretty much Modern Warfare 2.5, like a lot of people said, like a lot of people thought it wasn't going to be. A lot of people that were really optimistic about this game, that were constantly telling me that I was gonna be wrong, you know, about this game. And how I was just speaking out of my ass, and everything I said turned out to be true. It looks like I was like one of the only people with some fucking hindsight. And you know, it's a shame, because I have nothing against Call of Duty. I want them to be successful, and it turns out that this game looks like shit, and it is shit. And, you know, some people enjoy this game because some people wanted a more balanced Modern Warfare 2. Some people wanted a patched Modern Warfare 2. And why they pay $60 for a patch is beyond me. Because, honestly, the way that I see it is, you know, look at Battlefield Bad Company 2. They released, what, you know, Battlefield Vietnam. They didn't make us pay $60 to get Battlefield Vietnam. That game had just as much content, arguably, as Modern Warfare 2.5, Modern Warfare 3. There you go. I'm fucking up. It's pretty true, though. So they only charged us $15 for it, and like 3 months later, I got the game, both Bad Company 2 and Vietnam, for $5 as a pack. And so when I hear that Modern Warfare 3, which has about as much content as Battlefield Vietnam DLC, comes out, and it's being, you know, sold for $60 retail, acting like a full-released, full-fledged title, that is a slap in the fucking face. And, you know, if the only thing you ever play is Call of Duty, I can understand why you would spend that $60. You need it. Like, what other choice do you have, especially if you're on console? You're just gonna play that, or like Halo, or back to Modern Warfare 2. And who wants to go back to Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops, whatever? So I get that. But if you're on the PC side of things and you have a limited free-to-play options like TF2, Blacklight Redemption, Tribes, just a bunch of PC games that aren't free-to-play as well, like, you're not gonna want to spend your time playing this shit. It's a piece of shit. Okay, that's what it is. It's a game that should have been DLC. And had they had said, you know what, we didn't really have enough time to come together with a full-fledged title because of everything that our company has gone through and all the crap that you know, Infinity Ward had to put up with after our lead, like, developers got, you know, fired and all this stuff, and they would have just came out and said, but you know what, we're gonna charge you guys $40, you know, over the air DLC, or $50 over the air DLC, or a hard copy DLC, or a hard copy a patch, an update on the game. And it would essentially be like Battlefield Vietnam, where you just like go to the right in the main menu and play Battlefield Vietnam, and they would have called it Modern Warfare 2.5. I would have been cool with it. You know, at least you owned up to it, and at least you're providing us something that you really worked hard on, and you're acknowledging that it's not up to snuff with your regular, you know, content. I would have been totally fine with that, but that is exactly the opposite of what they did. They did not acknowledge that this game was a half-assed release. And so when they charge you $60 for that, when it should have been like a $15 patch, it's just for fucking maps and new guns and like balance patches that should have happened 2 years ago. That doesn't resonate with me. And to all the people that are telling me that I need to play the game myself, don't be mad at me because I didn't fucking like blindly follow the crowd or like blindly follow like, you know, what I wanted to come to fruition, and buy the game, knowing that the gameplay that they showed us was total ass. Like, it's, you knew it was gonna be ass. You wanted it not to be, but you knew. It didn't take a genius to put 2 and 2 together. And you, whatever reasons you had, maybe you had the cash lying around, maybe you just didn't give a fuck. Like, come on, man. Like, don't tell me that I shouldn't have an opinion on it, because I've heard this from multiple people, YouTubers and subscribers alike, telling me that I shouldn't judge the game. And it's like why? Like, I don't understand. Am I not right? And it's like, well, you're right, but you don't own the game, so even though you're right, what you're saying doesn't really matter. And I'm like, okay, all right, man. But that's all I really had to say on it. I didn't buy the game because it was a half-ass release, and it should not have been a $60 value. Yada, yada, yada. You guys know the rap. I'm pretty much sure that Call of Duty is going to be dead from this point on, unless Infinity Ward, and not in terms of sales. I just mean like in our community, especially on the PC side of things. I think people, even the console guys, are getting really fed up with this bullshit, especially coming off of Black Ops, which a lot of people hate in the YouTube community. Like Treyarch, people really hate Treyarch. When I like Treyarch, but people really hate Treyarch in the community. So they were waiting an entire year for something that's a rehash of the game that they last played 2 years ago. That's disappointing. I seriously don't see Call of Duty, you know, I think they're going to reach their pinnacle with the next release, and then you're going to start to see a decline, in my opinion, if they continue to do this every year. So that's really all I had to say about Call of Duty and Modern Warfare 3. And I just want to reiterate that I'm not a Call of Duty hater. I wanted to see success for the franchise and post-launch support and all of these other things, and it's just not going to happen. They only care about money, and they're trying. Activision, I don't want to blame the devs. I'm sure it's Activision, but Activision only gives a fuck about money and, you know, saving as much resource as they can while maximizing profit, and that's, you can see that clearly. So yeah, thanks for watching, bros. Peace out. This has been Jugs.